Minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Yeah. Not a game, not a game.
Me. Bam. Me, man.
Not a game.
Slap that like she scored 30.
What are we even talking about, man? We talking about sports here.
That
What's
intro
up, guys?
gets me every
What's up,
fucking
boys?
time. That intro, dog. Thursday night, man. I'm going out tonight. I'm just letting y'all fucking know, dog. I'm bringing the heat tonight.
There we
Week
go.
15, Thursday night football. We talking about sports. We're back for another week. How were you guys this past weekend? Justin, do you have a good Sunday? You ready for Thursday night?
Yeah, you know, as we left off on Sunday morning, I told y'all I'm working on the wing craft, trying to get better at that. Had a little bit of a setback with the wings. Didn't get them as good as I was last time.
I knew it.
That's how you get better at your craft. You perfect it. It's something you do with time. Now I know what I didn't do right this time. Won't happen again. Wings are still great. Everyone loved them. But for me, as the guy making them, I was like, nope, this is not the direction I want to go.
You're your toughest critic.
I'm my toughest critic, you know. I'm a little chef, so.
I respect that.
I was going to say, damn, Eddie didn't even dime you out that you mess up the wings, but then you go and say everybody likes them.
It was my personal.
I know they weren't as good as they could have been. Oh, not Justin.
How was your weekend, Ben?
It was good, man. Full of football, you know, back to work. I was hungover as hell on Sunday, man. That Sunday episode.
You made it,
though. Weak. Boy. No, I was. I know.
It was a good Sunday episode, though. It was a good Sunday.
Yeah, it was a good Sunday episode. Headed out to Rick's and watched the games over there at his place and called it early, bro. I crashed out about halftime of the Sunday night game. But yeah, man, happy to be back. Big game tonight.
Yeah, and a great slate of game on Sunday. A great set of games, this past Sunday. A lot of close games, couple overtime games on Sunday. Ron, did you catch the Cowboys game on Sunday? We moved to 9-4.
I ain't even gonna front. I pulled the band, man. I chilled.
No, I watched the games. I watched the games. What do you mean?
Life strikes again. Life strikes again.
I watched the first half. I took a nap during the third quarter, and then I woke up. We had some people over. We had my cousin Megan and Aldo over, and they were watching the game, and I just knocked out on the recliner full. It's because we went hard for the UFC, dog. The UFC and the Lemachenko fight. So Sunday, I just rested, ate all day, watched good football, cashed some bets because I tailed a lot of plays from the show, and Cowboys won. And shit, man, let's fucking keep going tonight, man.
Did you get more green spaghetti, or was that just that one time?
No, I was just that one time. Well, Saturday too, dog. I ate so much green spaghetti, and then Sunday we ate, and I don't know, man. It was a badass weekend. I chilled again, second weekend in a row. I didn't do shit, but you know. It's all good, dog. We cashed and we made money. Yeah. That's all that fucking matters.
It was a good week. We'll get into that maybe when we talk about some of the games here that happened this past Sunday. But first, before we move on, Justin's getting some love in the comments from a family member, so a reliable source, saying that the wings were good when he tried them. So
his dad don't count.
I'm gonna just put this out there. Josh's opinion honestly doesn't matter one iota. Because this fool, no matter what it is, if the food is hot, he loves it. Everything he eats, everything he likes, it's the best. And that's just Josh. He's always happy-go-lucky. If you want good people, good vibes, always good energy, it's Josh.
Well, that's a
so
good
I will give him that. But his opinion on something I can't take with a lot of
that's a good baseline
there.
Usually your family's opinion is always going to be good. You know what I mean? So you need a non-biased opinion. Josh is definitely biased.
All right, well, let's get into some of the games because I definitely spent my Sunday watching some football. It was a good Sunday. Like I said, there were a couple overtime games. We won't really spend too much time on those. I mean, Buffalo, Tampa, we knew that was going to be a good game, 33-27 for Tampa. San Francisco and Cincy, the other game too. But the game that we are going to talk about a little bit is a Monday night game. We're invested in the Rams this season. We have a future on them to get over 10.5 wins. It was a big game for them against Arizona. And you know what? They came out and they showed out. They had a pretty, I would say, dominating victory. They looked like the right side the whole way. If you were on the Rams, that they pretty much had it in tow most of the time. As we know, they got beat last, I think it was like week 3 or week 4, I think, by the Cardinals. But this week was a lot different. They moved to 9-4, second in the NFC West. OBJ looks like he's getting in a role or getting some rapport with Matt Stafford. And my question for you guys are the Rams back to being real contenders?
I want to go first.
Are they back, Ben? Are they back?
Hell no. All we've been saying on this show all season is that the Cardinals' record still, nobody respects them. They've been sitting at number 1 in the NFC the whole season. Still, we're saying the Bucs or the Packers will be the number 1 seed. So no, a win against the Cardinals, and as much as I think that our season win total is looking pretty good at this point. But as far as contending, no, there's no way against the Packers, against the Bucs. Those are the contenders. The Arizona Cardinals, what have they done in the playoffs? We can't call the Arizona Cardinals contenders until they prove something in the playoffs. And man, Kyler Murray, Bull, shout out Bull in the chat, but me and him have been, there's a love-hate relationship with Kyler Murray, and it's been a lot of hate this year, bro. A lot of hate. DeAndre Hopkins out for the season as well.
But he could make the playoffs.
After the season. Ron, I saw you getting excited with Ben's response. Are you on the same side as him? You think the Rams are pretenders?
Man, hell yeah, they're pretenders, man. I mean, we took him at the beginning with the season totals, but I mean, that was just overall win.
If the season ended today, the Cowboys would play the Rams. So you like the Cowboys against the Rams?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. And that's just being straight up honest, man. Too. It is a good matchup. Well, we know how Dallas is defensively. I mean, they proved that the last couple games. The Rams are pretenders to me just because of the inconsistency. I mean, I know they're 9-4, but a lot of those performances were against bad teams. I don't know, man. I'm kind of done there. I don't want to put my foot too much in my mouth because
good, Ron. Good.
Well, if you don't put it in your mouth, you're gonna have to put it somewhere else. So you might as well say it. You might as well say it. Say what you mean.
Nah, man, I'm good there. I'm gonna let Roland go. I'm gonna let Roland go real quick because I feel like I always open my mouth and talk a lot of shit. And Roland sets everything up, but he never comes through.
It's hard to call them real contenders just because of who else is in the NFC. I still think the Bucs are better than them. I like the way the Packers have been playing as of late with Aaron Rodgers. That offense is really clicking. So I would probably take them over the Rams right now. And then also not listed here, but the Rams are having some COVID problems. They just placed 9 more people on the COVID list right now. I just got an update, including like guys like Von Miller and a lot of other key defensive players. They now have 20.
Von Miller and key defensive player. They now
have 25.
Jalen Ramsey's a key defensive player, and he's on the list too.
Well, anyways, they now have 25 players on the reserve list. So that's a pretty significant number. So they're dealing with that right now. But
Roland, on that list you just said, how much of that is COVID?
These are all guys, 25 players on the reserve COVID list. They're all COVID. So definitely getting hit hard there. I don't know if they're going to be able to field the team. Every team has like reserve players that they can call up, like I guess G League players, if you will, practice squad guys that they can call up in this case. But 25 guys is a lot. But anyways, just for this game on Monday night, I do think it was a big game for them.
Yeah,
this was a must-win game for the Rams, especially after how the last game went. And this gives them a chance to win the division. So maybe they will avoid that weekend 1 matchup with the Cowboys if the season ended today. Because the Cardinals right now, they're flailing a little bit. Like Ben mentioned, Hopkins is out for the season. Connor is a little gimpy right now. He went down towards the end of the last game. So who knows what happens with the Cardinals? But I will say I like the Rams to sneak up and win the division. I think they'll catch the Cardinals now. But I still take the Packers. I like the Cowboys over the Rams and the Bucks over the Rams. So for that reason, I won't call them real contenders because I mean that puts them at 4th place right now.
Yeah, man. Like I'm gonna be honest. I'll give them their flowers. You know, I mean,
that was a big win. That was a big win.
They were 9-4. I mean, they came off 3 straight losses against the Titans, at the Niners, and at the Packers. They played the Jaguars, which I think was perfect for them in that situation, man. You come off 3 straight L's, and then you face the Jags, and then boom, your offense just keeps, just starts meshing. And the defense, they put up 37, and they only allowed 7. Yes, it was against the Jags, but they carried that momentum into the Cardinals game. And I think it was just the perfect team at the right time, avoiding a 4-game skid. You play the worst team in the league. You get your mojo back. You go and you beat Arizona. They're peaking at the right time. So that's why I said I want to stick my foot in my mouth, because I do have to give love to the Rams. Stafford, we said at the very, very beginning of the year, he's a guy that you kind of root for because he had such a shitty career in Detroit. So, I mean, fuck it. And I'm all about LA. So I got to give them their flowers. Marky, you got your flowers there. Boom. That's it.
Yeah, good thing he ain't here, bro.
Justin, do you also like the Cowboys in a series, or in a series, but in a wild card game against the Rams?
I don't love it just because of what their defensive line's capable of. And, it seems like our O-line is starting to get a little banged up and bruised up here. So I don't love the game. I think the game on Monday night was a good game for the NFC West to get decided here for the Rams. I think Kyler Murray lost that game for the Cardinals. A lot of bad throws. Right away, that first drive where he's at the red zone, can't get anything but 3. They should have converted. There should have been some run plays around there. The pick that he gets, that's another one that could have been another touchdown for them. So I think this is more of a case of the Cardinals losing the game than it was the Rams winning it themselves. So I don't necessarily love the matchup, but I think it is a favorable matchup still for the Cowboys because they will be at home at that point.
Yeah,
and I have to go to travel to LA.
All right. Anything else on the Rams?
Nope.
All right. Well, I mean, last week we shouted out 2 teams. Ben shouted out the Lions, notching their first victory. They've been struggling this year. We're going to give shine to another team on the other side of the spectrum of the Rams, like we did last week, and it's the Jaguars. They fired Urban Meyer.
Look at this fucking bum, man.
After going 2-11 to start the season. This was his first stint as an NFL coach. He was formerly at Ohio State. Trevor Lawrence came out yesterday or today, I don't know what day it was, but talking about he was tired of the drama, just wants to get back to the X's and O's, really just wants this stuff to kind of end. A lot of stories were coming out about Urban. I don't know if you guys heard about the Josh Lambo story about Urban calling him a dipshit and kicking him while he was stretching.
Kicking him while he was down.
And said that he could do whatever he wants. This was bound to happen, I think, with the Jags and Urban Meyer. But my question to you guys is, and I don't know who wants to go first, but do y'all think Urban is done as a head coach, period, not just in the NFL? Because I think the NFL is pretty obvious. But do you think he'll catch a job in the college ranks?
There was rumors that Notre Dame already sent him an email and told him, like, if you're waiting for this job, you can keep waiting, buddy, because it ain't gonna happen. We know that he was previously a wide receiver coach at Notre Dame, back in the day before he was head coaching. So I think maybe a season off and then back in college, I do see him coaching again. I don't know how big of a program he'll be coaching, but I do see him coaching college football again. What was the name of that LSU coach who's now like coaching Kansas or something? Les Miles?
He's fired.
Yeah.
Oh, he got fired?
Fired him at Kansas?
They fired him at Kansas for the allegations that happened at LSU with all the sexual misconduct.
Oh, okay. Came back against them.
I see him coaching, but not a blue chip program. And that's been a lot of the talk right now is obviously he wasn't cut out for the NFL. And it sounds like he was treating these players like college players, like kids who are on scholarship and lucky to be on the field, with a chance to make it to the NFL. These guys they're grown men already. He had no control. Surprisingly, he didn't get fired off after that incident. At the bar, the picture right there on the top right corner.
Andaba bien Wally Garza en la
Yeah.
barra que.
I thought that would have
With all the young chicks.
too. I thought that would have sealed the deal for him.
Wally for sure invited him. Yeah, Roland, it would have sealed the deal, but it was a big signing. It was a big splash in the coaching offseason. That was probably the biggest name hire that there was. Everybody curious to see how Urban Meyer was going to do, but talk about a pathetic,
horrible showing.
Brief career in the NFL. Like this
like
was
Saban's
bad.
career in the NFL.
No, but this was worse.
Hey, Saban at least won 8-8. Justin, you're a big college guy. When he got signed, this whole thing happened with Tim Tebow. He brought on the coach with bad allegations. What did you think when this happened? And are you surprised that this happened this early?
No, I'm not surprised because only a select few coaches can translate to the NFL from the college ranks. We're starting to see Matt Rule not be the guy after all with the Panthers. I think he's going to also get fired within a year or two. I do disagree with Ben. I think he would go to a blue chip program, not some small program. But right now, there is no blue chip programs hiring. The UFCs have filled, the Notre Dames have filled the LSU has filled. So unless Texas was going to fire Sarkisian, which they didn't, I know he was at the top of the list going into last season. That didn't work out. But when Urban Meyer goes and decides to come back to the college ranks, he's going to be coaching for a blue chip program because this is a national championship winner. He's a proven winner in the college ranks. He's a guy who's beat Saban head to head. This is a guy that you hire when you're a big time school. And I think he'll be with the big program. I don't think he's going to be with the small program. No Bowling Greens for Urban Meyer anymore. He's beyond that. He's at the Floridas and the Ohio States of the world.
Yes, Justin, you're talking just purely off coaching, but all of the baggage, does a big university want to take all? You got to think, how's this going to affect?
There's some schools in the South that winning trumps everything, and they'll definitely hire a guy like Urban Meyer.
It's hard, though, after the stuff that he's done. Like, I'm glad that we had the pictures here are kind of questionable, but, it displays something for Urban Meyer. Like, how does he talk about that when he goes into living rooms and tries to recruit people? I know, Justin, at the end of the day,
NIL deals will fix everything when you talk about
record,
this sort of thing.
That stuff will kind of I agree with you there, but it's just man, I don't know. I think he's kind of created a black cloud around him.
Oh, definitely. This is how wild these photos are. This is a bar that he owns in the Ohio State area. There's a picture of his wife and him together at that bar, like somewhere mounted at top. Everybody knows he's married there. Yet this fool still decided that he was going to party hard.
Este vato le dale verga. That's what I like about him.
Hey, Urban Body.
Herb Gotti.
So, Roland, my question though, was the kicker story the thing to push it over the top and push Shad Khan to fire him this week? Was that the thing that broke the camel's back, at least?
I think that, and then Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence coming out and saying he was tired of the drama. And obviously, the only drama in town is Urban Meyer. The whole thing that happened with James Robinson, and then apparently him and Marvin Jones got into a fight. Marvin Jones had to be restrained. And Marvin Jones has a reputation as being one of the nicest guys in the NFL. So if you get him to go crazy, man, and then the stuff with the coaches, him saying that he had a better crew of coaches at Bowling Green. Supposedly over these guys.
Like if he didn't pick them, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was just way too much stuff. And I think Trevor Lawrence coming out and then the Josh Lambo thing just really just broke the
earlier this week there was they were having their meetings and they asked him about a player. And he said, he's been getting better. He's getting more time. The guy has played 0 snaps so far. So he didn't even know his own personnel. He was checked out.
And then he had the worst. I'll let you go right now. He had the worst body language and look on his face when he walked off the field to shake Mike Vrabel's hand.
Yeah.
After losing 20-0 on Sunday, he looked so out of it. But
he was disgusted.
What were you gonna say, Ron?
Look at the middle picture and the picture on the right, bro. Let's not think that Urban Meyer is a coach. Let's not, he's nothing. He's just this regular guy, right? He looks like a fucking douchebag, bro. He looks like the typical old, white American male with money who thinks that he can retire. I'm just saying, bro. Let's get controversial. This is our show, bro.
Whoa.
Hey, man. Look, I'm just
he looks like the bar owner, Ron. That's what he looks like.
Yeah,
he looks like the bar owner.
Yeah, he is too. About like just a guy who thinks that he can get away with everything, with anything and everything, and he did that his whole college career. And he said, yeah, he did do that. So when he comes to the NFL, he says, you know what? It's the NFL, but I'm Urban Meyer. I got a little cred. I got all this, credibility from college, and I have the #1 draft pick, and I'm in Florida first year, and he got hit with a reality check real fucking quick, man.
Bro.
Real quick. Just like you guys said earlier, he's not coaching kids. He's coaching grown men. And he got hit with a reality check. This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever said. I've ever seen from an NFL coach. Stephen A. Smith came out and said, he wishes no ill will upon Urban Meyer, but that he needs to get the hell out of the NFL. He was glad he got out of the NFL as soon as possible. And yes, this guy's going to coach again. It'll never be in the NFL, and it'll be in college somewhere. I don't know what kind of school that he goes to, but he might just chill for a while too, man. I mean, if you're a college team, are you rushing to get Urban Meyer, or can you press pause for a year or two and see how his life pans out?
And I think just go ahead, Justin.
Based on the availability of jobs in the college ranks right now with the higher programs, I think he is going to have to press pause for a little bit at least, unless someone fires somebody within now and the start of the season, which they wouldn't because recruiting happened this week. So coaches were at work this week. So I don't think that's going to happen.
He's done this year. He'll probably be looking for a job for next season for sure.
We got some chatter.
Carousel or coaching carousel.
I agree, Roland. I think it's going to be.
But I think you brought up a good point though, Justin, about just select coaches being able to translate. And when you think about Urban Meyer, there's not a lot that he did really that would translate in the NFL. Like he's more of like a recruiter, playing a guy that plays with the stacked deck kind of thing. He's not really an X's and O's guy. His style really doesn't translate to the NFL. A lot of me, not a lot of we. So not really going to work out for Urban Meyer.
Exactly right, Roland. That's exactly
right. Enough of what happened in the NFL this past week. A lot of stuff going on, though. We'll get to more on Sunday, more news as we beef up and talk about those games. But let's get to the reason why we're here. It's Thursday Night Football, Week 15. Week 15 in the NFL. First week of the fantasy football playoffs. For some people who made it. Other people are still dealing with the last week of the regular season. If you're like in a 10-man league or a 4-man,
some playoffs start next week.
Yeah, some playoffs start next week. So getting down to the nitty-gritty here, as we stated last week also. So with the injury report for Thursday Night Football, the one you got to pay attention to really here is Austin Eckler. He's a game-time decision, but he's more than likely going to play. All reports are saying he is going to play. He's a gamer. He's going to give it a go, but just be on the lookout. A lot of people were questioning whether or not to start him. He's a set it and forget it guy.
Bull had that question in the comments. Do you start Eckler? He's active.
It's a set it and forget it. When you hear Austin Eckler's playing, you put him in. I mean, unless you hear that he's going to be like a decoy or something, I would play him. Guys who are out, you look at the top right picture, you got Chris Jones up there. He's out with the COVID.
That's big.
He got knocked for it. He's probably one of the best defensive linemen in the league. He definitely affects the game. When you talk about the trenches, we like to say that the game is won and lost in the trenches. So him being out for the Chiefs is a big blow. L'Jarius Sneed, personal matter, he's going to be out. Willie Gay, he's out. And Rashawn Slater, he's out for the Chargers.
Left tackle.
Left tackle for the Chargers. So we're talking about the trenches here. That's a big loss. Rashawn Slater was a big pickup for them in the draft, right? He's a rookie. So not having him there, big loss for them. Guys that are questionable other than Austin Eckler, it's a bunch of defensive guys. You got Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr.
That's a huge name.
They're both game time decisions. Going to give it a go. Derwin James, I don't know exactly what he's been dealing with, but I know Asante Samuel Jr. Has been that concussion that he's been dealing with the past couple of weeks. He hasn't played. So definitely guys that you want to pay attention to, because Derwin James, more than likely,
2 of their secondaries out. That's big time.
2 of their secondary guys that would be matched up with Kelsey and maybe Hill in some situations. So definitely look out for those guys. All right. let's get to the fan mailbag. We got some questions that we were talking about. We were talking about Austin Eckler a little bit earlier. We have Bull here with another question from Twitter. We'll get to some of the comments right now, but let's get to Bull's question here. Waller's out. That's another guy. We'll talk about it on Sunday, but he's the guy that's out. A lot of guys tight end right now. They have to make up for that. So his options right now are Cook versus KC playing tonight. So that's why it's a good question. Conklin versus Chicago, or Higbee versus Seattle. Both those last two games on Sunday. So Ben, I don't know if you're in the league with Bull here, so I don't know if you want to give him help.
I'm not.
What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is like a coin flip. I mean, all of these guys are pretty much touchdown dependent. None of these guys are, those high yardage tight ends. And Jared Cook has scored 3 out of the last 4 weeks. Conklin does have a decent matchup. Higbee's coming off of a COVID, so he's coming back from COVID or a false positive.
Dude, who knows if they're going to play?
Yeah, and who knows if they're going to play. But honestly, I would just go with Cook, just based off 3 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. He's old, reliable. We know in the red zone, he's always a big threat. Just like Antonio Gates late in his career. The Chargers hold it down with those tight ends, man. So I would go Jared Cook.
What about you, Ron?
I'm going to go where are we at? Okay. I'm going to go Jared Cook here as well, just because I think that Eckler being a little banged up, Keenan Allen coming off COVID. I don't know if these guys are 100%. And if you're Kansas City, I mean, you kind of have to maybe not double, but your focus is on Keenan Allen and Mike Will. I mean, Mike Will is the guy who nobody really talks about. He's that wide receiver 2 over there, but he absolutely goes off. And I think that the Chiefs focus on that tonight. He's going to be a little bit of a safety blanket. I think he gets a lot more targets than he has in previous games. I'm completely out on Conklin versus Chicago, and Higbee versus Seattle. I think that they're trying to establish the run a little bit more. The Rams are, because it sets up for those pass plays, but he's not going to be a huge target there. He's coming off COVID, but rumors are that it was a false positive. But either way, we don't know his health status either. So I think Cook is your best option here.
Honestly, don't like any of the options this week.
It's tough.
It's tough, but I mean, if I were to choose between the 3, I would also go Jared Cook. I'm not saying that you're going to be excited with the results here, because it might just be that all 3 of these guys are duds this week for whatever reason, because Kansas City has been pretty good against the tight end. They haven't given up a touchdown against the tight end in the last 5 weeks. So definitely been dry for tight ends when going up against KC. But like Ben mentioned in his talk, Cook has gotten 3 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. So you got to like the consistency there.
And the highest total on the board for this weekend, Roland. This total is now up to 56.5. So they're expecting points, just piggybacking off Allen. It could be a shootout, and that's kind of what Vegas expects with a 56.5 point total. So also shout out Lou. I saw he had a Justin Herbert question. We got Justin Herbert in buy or sell coming up. So we'll answer your question there, definitely.
Yeah, and if you got Jared Cook in a PPR league, maybe you get away, with 4 catches, 48 yards, something that just doesn't bust you, and maybe he does get the touchdown. And then we got another question here from Wally. He's got a question. He wants to know, do I start Clyde Edwards-Helaire tonight? I'm assuming in his flex position, because I wouldn't start him over Taylor or Fournette. Right. So he's looking at starting Edwards-Helaire or Tony Pollard. My answer real quick before I toss it to you guys is probably going to be Edwards-Helaire. I don't think the Chargers have been that good against the run. That's probably been the weak spot for this defense. Edwards-Helaire's looked a little bit better over the last couple of weeks. So give me Helaire and Pollard. He's playing with a plantar fasciitis or something like that. And so even if he's playing, he's not going to be 100%, I don't think. So give me at Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the flex, if that's what you're thinking about.
Hey, Justin, step in. Justin, what do you think?
Hey, I think that I would go.
Or is he not here?
I would go Edwards-Helaire. He's not even here. I would go Edwards-Helaire as well. Pollard, I mean, I guess he has him there based off the 17 points projected, but if we're being
17?
honest, that's what it has on the screen. Yeah. But I would go with Hilaire. The Chargers have the 31st ranked run defense. We saw Hilaire get in the end zone twice last week, once receiving, once rushing. And I might even go a little bit. I mean, I would start Higgins and Hilaire both over Pollard. Wally's got Higgins there on his bench as well, and he's been playing well for Cincinnati. So bench Hilaire, cuz.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat here, man. If it's between those two guys, I'm definitely going with Clyde Edwards-Hilaire. My thing on this is that the Cowboys are playing the Giants, man. And I think with their third string running back, even that's going to be enough because the Giants aren't going to put up much of a fight. They shouldn't, the Cowboys, they shouldn't risk, Pollard coming back because Zeke is already a little banged up also. So if you're the Cowboys, you say, can we get past the Giants with our third string running back and a little bit of Zeke? I say yes. You rest Pollard a little bit more or, maybe not the whole game, but not put him in as much. So I don't think he's not going to be a big focal point to where you have Clyde Edwards-Hilaire coming back. It's a Thursday night primetime game. They're going to want to get him involved because they're going to want to go play action tonight to either Hill or to Kelsey. So I think he'll be a focal point, and you kind of have to go with the running back whose game is predicted to be a shootout also. I mean, Ben, you mentioned the overs has gone up from 54 all the way to 56.5, so there's going to be points scored. I mean, I think Hilaire's a no-brainer here over the options that you have, as far as Pollard.
Go CEH here. CEH. Do we have any other questions here before we move on? Because if we don't, we can get to some buy-sell real quick before we get to the picks.
Oh, Herbie? Oh, no. Well, Herbie's buy or sell. Yeah.
Buy or sell. Buy or sell. All right. So these two guys are up here. You guys might be like, oh, well, these are obvious names. Yes, they are. But they're up here for two different reasons. One, Travis Kelsey. He's going to go first. Buy or sell Travis Kelsey buy or sell Travis Kelsey over 16 points. That's what he's projected at on ESPN. The last 2 weeks, he's gotten about 6 points in PPR leagues, 5.7, 5.7, identical weeks. Are you buying a bounce back game for Travis Kelsey tonight? Are you buying the over 16 points, Ben?
Yeah, I'm going to buy it. Like I said, just based off that total, this is one of their focal points aside from Tyreek Hill in the passing game. Like you mentioned, 2 duds for games the last 2 weeks. This is a guy who was drafted in the first round, with the wide receiver and some running backs. Right. I'm buying this. I think Kelsey gets in the end zone today. I think that the odds reflected as well. He's like plus 105 to score a TD tonight. Not very good odds. So they're expecting him to get in. I expect him to get in. And I'm buying Travis Kelsey being the number 1 tight end this week.
Nice. What about you, Ron? Are you buying this?
Man, I'm on the same boat right here, partner. We're going to get into it a little bit later, but his receiving prop went up significantly, as we've gotten closer to game time. This also has to do a lot with the Los Angeles Chargers. I want to get into that later too, but fuck it, I'll just say it now. They do play a very high 2 safety shell. So guys like Hill and the guys who go for the longer passes down, the field are going to be limited, and I think that opens up the middle because they have Hilaire also. So the linebackers will come toward the run. So I think the middle of the field tonight, which is where tight ends absolutely eat, is going to be wide open. And I think that Kelsey, I'm definitely buying him, man. He should have a hell of a game. Week 3, he put up 104 yards on 7 catches against the Chargers at Arrowhead.
There we go. I like that. So he's already had past success against the Chargers. We talk about their injuries in the secondary. I'm going to buy Kelsey here also. We talked about him having, and it's more so just because I think it's more of a bounce back game for Kelsey. He's had 2 duds these past couple of weeks. So I think they're going to, the Kansas City Chiefs at least are going to focus on getting him involved in the game plan. And I like him to score a little touchdown on a little shovel pass. I like him to get the little pattern.
Where's the prop for that?
Roland calling his shot too with the shovel pass. And Gene in the comments saying he's selling Kelsey because I know that that's coming from some resentment because he's a Kelsey owner, and you just talked about in PPR leagues, back-to-back 5-point weeks. My cousin got booted out of the playoffs last week because he lost the week before.
Tough break.
Yeah, he's selling Kelsey with a little resentment because tonight for the playoffs, that's when Kelsey shows up, baby.
All right. Okay, so the next one, we're all buying Kelsey. This next one, Justin Herbert. The reason why he's up here is because he's the number 2 quarterback on ESPN right now on PPR leagues. If you're playing with the standard quarterback rules, he's the number 2 quarterback on ESPN formats. Buy or sell Justin Herbert as a quarterback 1 this week. And granted, he's going up against a much improved Kansas City Chiefs defense, who's been pretty stout the last couple of weeks, but he did have his way with them earlier in the year. Ron, Justin Herbert's your guy. Are you buying this?
God, this is the
Justin Herbert quarterback 1.
Toughest situation for me because I have him and Burrow, and I don't know who the hell to start. I'm gonna start Herbert just because you cannot leave Justin Herbert on your bench, man. You can't. I think that it's gonna be one of those games for him where he might throw for 300 yards, maybe 310, 325 even, but get like 1 passing touchdown. You know, he might help out a little bit with his legs, but he's gonna have a lot of passing attempts. But I don't love this, man. And as a QB1, I'm going to have to say no, man. I'm going to have to say no. As much as I regretfully, say that, he's going to have a big numbers game, but it's not going to translate to fantasy points, if that makes any kind of sense.
That doesn't make sense.
The one touchdown could keep you out of QB1.
Yeah, that's true. QB1, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, he could say rush for 40 and throw for 325, but he might just have or say he has 2 touchdowns, but he throws a pick because the KC defense is good. He could take a lot of sacks, maybe a sack fumble. He has a solid stats game, but as far as QB1, I'm gonna have to sell my boy Herbie, man.
As much as I want to sell him because I'm playing against Eckler, I'm playing against Keenan Allen, I'm gonna buy it. He's 3-0 ATS against the Chiefs. He's always played the Chiefs well. It's always been the shootout. The over/under reflects it. I'm gonna buy Justin Herbert as a QB1. Say 22 points for Herbert this week.
Yeah, I'm going to buy him tonight too. I think he's going to be a QB1.
Thanks
QB1
for the support,
is going to be top 10, top 12 quarterback. I think he's going to do enough to get that done. I know Kansas City's been improved on the defensive end, but I think the Chargers, they have a good offense themselves. I mean, it's one thing to stop, the Raiders and teams like the Giants and stuff like that, like the Chiefs have been playing, but give me the Chargers offense to have their way. I'm not saying they're going to win the game, but give me Justin Herbert as a QB1 as well. I'm buying him. So 2 buys on Herbert and 1 sell. We'll have to get Justin's answer later. See.
Lou in the comments says he'll take 2 TDs and he'll 22 points from Herbert tonight, Ben. That's my prediction. I do think that he'll get 20 plus, and you do have to take that. That's QB1.
All right. Let's move on. All right, this is the reason why we're here tonight.
Potatoes.
Yeah, this is the reason why we're here tonight. It's the Thursday night game. These are our plays for the game. I don't think anybody has a play on the game itself, but we'll all give our pick at the end.
Aside?
Aside, just to make sure that we all have our thought on the winner or loser. But Ben, let's start at the top with your plays, man. Let's take us through.
Yeah, like I said, I was buying the Kelsey stuff. Kelsey over 69.5 yards. Ron thinks the middle of the field's gonna be open. We know Kelsey works well there. And 3 duds in a row from Kelsey. I don't see it, man. This is a very big game. This game is for the division. So, the Chargers already have 1 win on them. I do not think that they sweep them. They would own the tiebreaker on the Chiefs. That would be bad news. Kelsey will be a big factor tonight. Over 69.5 yards. Got that in early. And then Keenan Allen returns off COVID for the Chargers. Over 6.5 catches, -120. Last time out against the Chiefs. Of course, earlier in the season when the Chiefs defense was booty as hell. But he had 11 receptions on 15 targets. We know that he's and bro, only 45 yards. That was wild.
Shit.
So I'm not messing with the yards. I think that they're going to get Keenan Allen the ball. I think that he's a safety blanket. He's that PPR guy. He's not that Mike Will, big, over-the-top threat. Give me Keenan Allen to be the safety blanket tonight and have over 6.5 catches.
I'll tell that Keenan Allen prop. I like that, over 6.5 catches. I'll tell that. My plays real quick. Tyreek Hill, Over 80.5 receiving yards, minus 120. The Chargers secondary, like we mentioned, they could be potentially hampered tonight with Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. out. And their secondary has been a little susceptible once they've gone up against the better receivers in the league. So give me Tyreek Hill to have his tonight. I think 80.5 yards is very attainable. That's 2 chunk plays right there for Tyreek Hill. So give me Tyreek Hill over 8.5 receiving yards. And then give me Kelsey. I mentioned that little shovel pass. I think he's going to get in the end zone tonight. Give me Kelsey as an anytime touchdown scorer. Minus 115. Not too much juice on that, but I think he's going to get in the end zone tonight.
I like it. Justin, an appearance for his play. Here we go.
Yeah, I got just one play today. Patrick Mahomes over 18.5 yards rushing. We only need 18.5 to get there. I think he slips away for a rush and gets it all in 1, if not 2. But I like it over at 18.5 today.
There we go. And that number I think I saw moved up. I was looking at 20 earlier today.
To kind of feed off you on that, Justin, I was gonna take it because it was at 15.5, and I actually have stats here. He's averaged 20.8 rushing yards on 4 attempts per game. 7 out of his 14 games, he's rushed over 15.5. Week 3 against this Chargers team, he rushed for 45. And the Chargers can't stop the run. So at 15.5, I was all over it. But just like Roland touched on, when I went to take it, it was at 20.5, maybe even 21. So it jumped a whole 6 yards, man. So if you have it at 18.5, I mean, I think that's still a good number. And,
why'd you hesitate when the first time you saw it? Why'd you hesitate? Why didn't you pull the trigger?
Hey, shut up, Wade.
I'm asking you a question, Wade.
Because I want to look at other bets first. And then by the time I came back to that one, like, yeah, it was done.
Early bird gets the worm, cuz.
Or I mean, also, maybe just my book has it at that. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
I think last week we did a show and our numbers were off from Roland's by like 5 or 6 yards also.
Well,
so
even our receiving props. Even our receiving props. Like Mike Kelsey, I mean, you got it.
You guys only have one book.
Well, that's the time of the day too.
No, I know. I'm saying like different, but different books have different lines.
Yeah. Speaking of lines, Ron, what are your lines that you got there?
All right, man. Everybody's expecting a shootout. Everybody talked about overs this and overs that. Oh, the contraire. I don't know why. I mean, I understand why everybody's on the overs, but if you look at it. I mean, I'm gonna just hit y'all with some, with some numbers real quick or with some opinions. KC has been playing way better lately. Everybody's been saying that the defense this and the defense that. Their last 3 games, they gave up 9. Yes, it was against Las Vegas. They gave up 9 against Denver, and guess how much they gave up to the Cowboys? 9. So they've given up 27 points in the last 3 games. I know that it's the Chargers offense. However, you can't sleep on that KCD. And I know one of their big players is out tonight defensively, but still, also the Chargers play, like I mentioned earlier, that 2 high safety zone. They're a very bend but don't break defense. So I could see a lot of movement between the 20s tonight, but expect a lot of field goals, in my opinion. I think that honestly happens tonight with that 2 high, safety look. Why did, the Chiefs put up 48 against Las Vegas? Because Vegas did not want to get away from that 1 high safety look, and Patrick Mahomes ate their fucking lunch, bro. All right. Also, Hilaire's going to get more touches, so I don't think that there's a lot of pass attempts from Mahomes tonight, and especially a lot of long attempts. So I think Hilaire gets the rock a lot more as well. Chargers ain't going to put up a lot of points, man. We're debating here if Justin Herbert's a QB1, or not. Usually we'd say that, he'd put up crazy numbers. Their last 3 games, they 37-21 against the Giants, 41-22 at Cincinnati, and 28-13 at Denver. But those defenses are nothing compared to how Casey has been playing lately. The fact that the public was all over this, and like my boy Mondo likes to say, shout out to Dukes, I love fading the public. He fades the public. I'm fading the public tonight. I'm going with first half under 27 as well, and full game under 54. I'm piggybacking on Ben's Kelsey over 71.5. He got it at 69.5. I think it opened up at 66.5. Yeah. So Kelsey's going to have a huge game tonight. The middle of the field is going to be wide open. The 2 high safety look is going to take away from Hill down the field, and he's going to eat in the middle of the field, bro. And if y'all want to, whenever y'all want, we could go to the next slide and go over Kelsey's why I'm on Kelsey and why Ben's on Kelsey. But those are my 3 plays. So
nice, good plays.
Yeah, here we go for Kelsey. So from 66.5 to 71.5, projected 74. I mean, those are fantasy projections. Just what they're looking at, and like Ron mentioned about that too high shell. So pretty much all the points that Ron went over, but we're expecting a big night from Kelsey. Roland's expecting him to get in the end zone. So show out, Kelsey. It's the playoffs. You were drafted in the first round. Play like it.
I did read an article where he's came out and said, "I've been playing like shit. I'm out to prove a point. I need to play better for my team." So
love to hear that.
And I think what the Chargers give up. What did I put on there? They give up 11 yards to the tight end per reception, which is the 5th most. They also give up 6 yards after the catch, which is the 3rd most in the league. So when tight ends get the rock, they're still running for 6 yards after the catch. So I think Kelsey balls out, man.
It's all the makings for a big Kelsey game.
Yeah, we should talk a little bit about the side, though. I mean, the Chiefs are -3 favorites here on the road in Los Angeles. They expect Chiefs fans to travel. You know, they have a pretty big fan base since their recent success after drafting Patrick Mahomes. How do y'all feel about the side? Do you think that the Chargers have a chance of sweeping the Chiefs this year?
I think that, I mean, they definitely have a chance of sweeping them, but I do think the Chiefs are probably in better form right now. I mean, again, we're talking about health. I don't like Rashawn Slater being out on the offensive line for the Chargers. And then when you talk about Derwin James and, again, Asante Samuels, a junior, excuse me, I'll go with the Chiefs tonight. I like them at -3 on the book that I bet. I saw them at -4, so I'm staying away from that. So actually, if you have 4, I would tease the Chargers. I do think it's going to be a close game. I do think it's going to be a shootout. I am buying into the point spread going up all the way to 56 or whatever it was. The past couple of minutes before tip-off or kickoff, excuse me. So I'm buying the over here, but I don't know, man. I like the Chiefs at -3, and I like them to win the game. But at 4, give me the Chargers in a teaser. I like that to 11.
Past 10. All right. Ron, how do you feel about this game tonight?
Don't sleep on my boy Herbert, bro. ain't gonna front. I don't have the balls to take him, but I think that the Chargers keep it close and they cover. If you get 3.5, I love it. If you get 3, that's cool too. I really like the Chargers tonight because primetime games. We saw last week. We saw what just happened on Monday night. The Cards and the Rams game was good. The Rams were underdogs, and they won. Let's see the Chiefs here. Let me see, what is it? Shit, I don't know. Whatever, bro. I just think I can't find my little notes. I have all these fucking notes, dog. And I don't
Where
know
the fucking note cards at? Don't be stickies. Bust out the note cards.
I don't know where they at, dog.
Let me give my side. I'm gonna go opposite. Right. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well. I don't see them getting swept. I see them playing a lot better. I am a little bit worried about the Chris Jones injury because he affects the run a lot since they moved him inside from playing like defensive end. But the fact that Eckler is a little banged up it kind of offsets the Chris Jones injury. How much will they work Eckler? We know that he is a fragile guy. He has been hurt a lot in his career. Yeah, smaller guys. So, you expect the injuries when you are a running back and getting in that car crash every play. But, yeah, man, I like the form that the Chiefs are in. I do expect their defense to give up a little bit more points in the 10 points per game average that they've had over the last 4 games. I'm expecting points, but I'm expecting a Chiefs win, and I think the Chiefs will get it by a touchdown. I think the Chiefs will finally cover against Justin Herbert. Only been 3 matchups, but yet to cover a game against Justin Herbert.
Don't sleep, man. Don't sleep on the Chargers. The Chiefs played Vegas, who was in turmoil, Denver, who's not great, and unfortunately,
what about the Cowboys? Are the Cowboys good?
I was going to say, the Cowboys. All those games were at home, though.
Yeah. Where are you going on this, Justin?
Normally I don't like 4-point home dogs. That's a lot, like Ron said. But just the form that you talked about, Roland, the Chiefs are in a way better form. I got to go with the Chiefs here. Just a field game. I think the Chiefs will get it done. Cover that spread.
All y'all wrong.
Yeah, so
we'll find out Sunday.
Mahomes versus Herbert, potentially a new quarterback rivalry. The the little clip was making its way about Mahomes saying that he'll believe it when he sees it on Justin Herbert. Another moment for them to match up. So it's 7:02. We're getting close to kickoff at 7:20. Week 15 is about to begin. Thursday night football. Do you guys have anybody going tonight? Fantasy football playoffs? Anything going, Ben?
No, just an interesting schedule this week, guys. We got NFL Saturday games coming up. Saturday, Vegas and Browns. Browns missing a ton of players. And you got New England and the Colts. That's going to be a great game. That's at 7:15. And if you're interested in any high school state football playoffs, the 6A championship is going to be Saturday as well. And there's some big-time schools, a lot of high-profile recruits that you'll see in colleges next year.
Well,
will be playing in those games.
Who's playing?
Austin Westlake's playing. You got they beat the crap out of South Lake Carroll. I mean, they just really put it on. And I forget the other school from the 5A, but another good team. Duncanville's still in it, I believe. Yes.
I think they're out. I think Duncanville's out. I'm gonna grow. Fuck it. Justin's gonna be reporting live from the game. So
live from Jerry's world where the games are going on. But yeah, man, we'll be back Sunday. We know big game on Saturday. That Patriots and Colts game is going to go off. I mean, that's primetime Saturday night football right there. We know the winning streak that the Patriots are on. They're going on the road to play the Colts. The Colts are trying to scrap for that wild card spot. That's a big ass game. I'm going to be tuning into that for sure.
Big Saturday, and I think we got a college football bowl game starting, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, tomorrow the bowls start.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, we do have a college football bowl contest sort of thing, just for fun. It's a little pick 'em where you pick the teams that you think are going to win. At the end of the bowl games, whoever has the most right is the winner. It's just a simple, fun game. The link has been posted. I'll post that link out again for everybody to see.
Where can they get the link? On our
I'll be posting on Facebook, Twitter,
socials here.
Facebook and Twitter mostly.
Yeah, and we'll put that out because, like we said, the bowls do start tomorrow. So it's based on confidence, just college bowl pick 'em, fun. We'll have some sort of prize for somebody at the end. Whoever wins.
That's dope.
That's it, boys.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it for Thursday. Let's go to Kansas City versus LA.
Let's go, Travis Kelsey.
Hell yeah.